Next Tuesday will be the first Eid al-Fitr festival for Muslims since the Christchurch terror attacks on March 15, with the month-long observance of Ramadan coming to an end. Muslims have gathered each night of Ramadan to the Linwood and Al-Noor mosques, where 51 people lost their lives just 11 weeks ago to break their fast. Conan Young was invited along to Linwood Masjid to watch a special halal hangi being put down to feed worshippers and the wider community.
Tyrone Smith, who converted to Islam 12 years ago, is hard at work setting the fire that will heat up the iron bars and rocks that are an essential part of any good hangi. It's not a scene you would typically expect to stumble across in the backyard of a mosque, but as Tyrone says, Linwood isn't your typical mosque.
Yeah, we're at the back of Linwood Masjid. We call it Masjid Aroha. It's an informal name that we give it because it's the love we feel when we come here.
Say no more, it was like my brother's life.
During Ramadan, Muslims fast between sun up and sundown as a way to empathise with those less fortunate than themselves. It's a time for spiritual contemplation and charity, and Tyrone says there's clearly a very special feeling about this year's observance.
The timing, for us, God is the perfectionist of time, and everything is actually really beautiful, the timing and how Ramadan has came in after the tragedy, and it's a way how we can really unite and connect, and it's just a really spiritual moment for us here.
Tyrone was at work when the shootings happened. Coming to terms with the loss of so many friends has been hard to take.
I felt gutted, and I felt sorrow, I just felt really mumway, and it was really pody. Only because I also the connection to the masjid and to the people who have passed away, the shaheed. I knew them personally, and some of them I was with only a week before that.
Mohammed Ferdis has been helping out and getting his hands dirty peeling vegetables. It's his first ever hangi, and he says it's a great opportunity to spend time together and remember the 7 people who lost their lives at the masjid.
Some of them, when you think back, those are good people in the community that we have lost, but then again, there's always a reason why that happened, and I think in general, I think people take this in a positive way, and also we've seen a very positive energy towards our community as well, which is great.
Originally from Malaysia, Mohammed is a doctor and was working at Christchurch Public Hospital when the shootings happened. He rushed to the emergency department where dozens of the injured were being brought through the doors, many with severe injuries. He says it wasn't easy to keep his professional distance with people he knew so well.
I mean, honestly, it's been quite tough for me. Some of the victims, I know them, and then the ones who've been dead, I know some of them as well. It was quite a tough time for me. I guess it's quite fortunate for me because the hospital itself and my department has been very supportive of me. They gave me the time that I needed to recover from this incident, and they really support me all the way through, to be honest.
David Hansen converted to Islam 3 years ago.
It's more peaceful. I've been involved with many churches who get angry and do stupid things, and you always wonder why. And now with looking at the Islamic faith and meeting my wife and being introduced to it, it's so peaceful. Like, there's no hate in any of it. And if somebody puts it to them, they embrace them like a brother, and it's gone.
We've really seen that since March 15, haven't we?
Yeah, we have, yeah. And the good thing is that anybody can come down the driveway and say hello.
David was at work on March 15 and his brother-in-law was in the Linwood Mosque when the terrorist came down that driveway with very different intentions. David's father-in-law was at Deans Ave.
They're still shattered. Shawan was inside and we lost a brother beside him, and Dad was at Deans Ave in the centre, and him and another brother got covered by the bookshelf that holds the Quran. So, blessed, but very shaken. Still smells the gunpowder in the air, still wakes up to the noises. It's still very rare and raw to him. And if people haven't had that experience before, it is just like you are back there, you know, and there might not be smoke in the air, but he will smell it. There might not be gunpowder in the air, but he will smell it. These things will take time to come out of the system. There's still a lot of shock, but there's a lot of help here for them too.
For Tyrone Smith, part of the inspiration behind becoming a Muslim was a desire to help and protect migrant Muslims who came from war-torn countries. He says the terror attack made him feel like a failure.
I don't wish that moment on anybody, no matter who you are, because that feeling, and if you have that connection to a tragedy like that, it's something that you'd never want.
And it's sort of beholden on all of us to somehow make this better, right? To help heal these wounds.
Yeah, you know, what's really healing in our community is connecting with everyone. Not only just Muslim community, our community, connect with everybody, because everyone's dealing with it in a different way. But just to assure that they're okay, you know, and if they need help, and if you know that there's a void that needs to be filled and you can fulfill it, then make sure you do it.
There are many voids in so many people's lives here in Christchurch. But with feasts like al-Fitr next Tuesday, the community is not only remembering the lost, but opening its doors to welcome newcomers with the familiar sights and scents of a hangi.
Well, it's time to say no more.
Kei o te tahi aho, mō te hōtaka o te ahi, ko Conan Young tēnei.